Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a great article for you guys from the Business Wire. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So this is an older article from the recent Ookla reports. And in this video, I want to talk about the, Verizon coming in with higher, more contiguous bandwidth on a national scale, and them potentially going to overtake T-Mobile as the speed leader. Now, speeds are not everything. So I understand it. You guys understand it. Calling, reliability, coverage, all that still matters. But not all is lost for T-Mobile. I want to see how T-Mobile reacts once Verizon does surpass them. There are several things that T-Mobile can do to gain speed, or take back the speed lead if they choose to, right? So one of them is transitioning over to voice over NR quicker. So earlier in March, they stated that they would have 100 million people covered, or 100 million pops, with voice over NR throughout the coming months. It's almost September, and they have yet to officially announce any other markets launching with voice over NR, except the 4 that they launched with in the beta stages. I believe it was New York, New Orleans, Seattle, and one other. I think it was like Portland, Oregon, or something like that. So calling has been T-Mobile's weakness, and RootMetrics continuously points that out. And in the recent one that we just discussed, Louisville, Kentucky, T-Mobile dropped even lower on the calling. So that might be an issue moving forward with the voice over NR. That's something that's T-Mobile's weakness, hands down. So that's one thing they can do. When they transition to voice over NR, they can refarm and move more of that LTE spectrum over to 5G. So that way the standalone core is not reliant on LTE anymore, and they can really push those speeds. The second one is, I think all of you are aware, is backhaul. T-Mobile has a lot of run room to get to 10 gig backhaul. For those of you who are following the members exclusive content, I posted the document there of how many sites T-Mobile has at 10 gig on a nationwide scale, and they have a lot of run room. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say the numbers here, but they have a lot of run room. I mean, a lot of run room to grow to 10 gig backhaul. They have it's a little over a double-digit percentage of their entire cell grid on 10 gig backhaul. So they got a lot of run room to grow, especially as they get to the total 85,000 cell sites. So that's another one, right? Going from 1 gig to 10 gig, that's a big deal. That's going to really push the Airlink and all the spectrum that's on air. And then the third one, right, is small cells. They gotta be a part of the plan. Right, you put up the small cells, you add 10 gig fiber, or however much the fiber you add to the front haul, and then you push N41 onto those small cells. That's another way to keep your speeds high and offload your macros so they can speed up as well. So that's another one. And then the fourth, right, aggressively deploying your C-band DoD where you bought it. That's the fourth one. Recently, not too long ago, Neville spoke about the spectrum, and he said they're going to use it for congestion protection, which is fine. If there's N41 sites that are doing 500 megabits, there's really no need for the C-band and the DoD to be added. But T-Mobile is strongly marketing their speed lead. That's all over their marketing. It's the two things that they use the most: availability and speed. If Verizon takes away the speed, and they start becoming the fastest on Ookla, RootMetrics, OpenSignal, that's going to be a problem for T-Mobile's marketing material. So they seriously have to look at those 4 steps that I mentioned to really get going onto increasing the speeds even faster. Right, on the RootMetrics, T-Mobile increased by like 14%. Verizon increased by 97%, and they didn't even use all of their bandwidth during that testing. So just keep that in mind. There's probably another, I would say, 50-60% of an increase that Verizon's going to do once RootMetrics tests Louisville again. So that's a market to look out for in the first half of 2024 testing. So not all is lost for T-Mobile. They could fight back if they choose to. If they keep everything the same and say, screw it, let Verizon have the speed lead, we'll just continue growing our company. We'll continue, staying where we're at. But they're going to have to take their marketing material down. If they continue marketing that, Verizon's going to fight back. And T-Mobile's going to lose because all of the publications that are credible, outside of Umlaut, are going to start posting Verizon is the fastest. Umlaut is not really credible, so most of the stuff that they post we probably will disregard anyway. But it's mainly, for me, it's OpenSignal, Ookla, both crowdsourced, and then RootMetrics. They're scientific. And if Verizon takes those in the speed department, it's a wrap. T-Mobile will no longer be able to claim that they're the fastest unless they fight back. And the 4 steps that I mentioned, I think, are critical to T-Mobile taking back the speed lead if and when Verizon does take it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.